So what are some specific changes you'd like to see made to our current policies that can start America investing in childcare?
I think we need to look at the type of people that we elect. And, our political system is so inaccessible to so many people. I mean, you have to basically be independently wealthy you have to quit your job and do it full time. You're not getting paid. I mean, it's very inaccessible to regular people, which is unfortunate because regular people have faced, the challenges of most Americans, most Texans. I think a big part of our problem is that we have a lot of legislators who have lived their lives in these kind of privileged bubbles. And so they don't understand the real challenges that people like us face. We need to elect problem solvers, people who can put the mission first. And maybe this is because I spent so long in the military. I used to sit around the mission planning table, look at a mission. We have this patient to go pick up. We know the enemy is in, these cardinal directions. Look to my left and right to people who maybe I disagree with on a lot, but we're able to focus, put our differences aside, focus on the mission, recognize how important that is. And, I just think that we need to elect people that are pragmatic and solution oriented, that can do that, put the mission first. I mean, you mentioned I went to DC and opened hundreds of thousands of jobs for women in the military. I was able to do that with bipartisan support, which is a skill set that I feel like is really lacking. And there's a few reasons that things are so hyper partisan right now in politics, corporate PAC money being one of them. But, when I started running for office, there was an FEC decision out that was spearheaded by Luba Gretchen Shirley, who's in charge of who leads Vote Mama right now. And she got that decision for stay-at-home moms that wanted to run for office could use campaign funds to pay for childcare. But I was a working mom. I wasn't a stay-at-home mom. And so it didn't apply to me. And so instead of letting that be a barrier to running, I just said, well, let's make it apply to us, and, took on the FEC and successfully petitioned them to allow working parents to use campaign funds, not just moms, but dads on childcare so that they can run for office because you're also not getting a paycheck. So, broadly speaking, I think we need to make sure that working families across Texas and our nation have access to quality, affordable childcare and pre-K. We need to make sure that we preserve the dignity of work for caregivers and secure good pay and training and benefits and sick leave and things like that. I would support looking into any option really that helps our working families by investing in childcare and education, whether it's universal preschool, expanding refundable tax credits for working families. I think we see a lot of companies who understand that they don't want to lose a workforce and that they value parents. And so they're doing a lot of, on-site childcare and learning and pre-K and distance learning and things like that. And that's exciting to see.
And Leslie, you have kind of a different focus than a policy perspective. How do you see, what changes would you like to see made?
So I fully understand that the policy piece is huge and that we have to be able to push for that policy change and really, advocate for our children and our families. We can't wait, however. And so what I've been able to do in my local community with the help of other people that are really wanting to, empower ourselves to be able to offer childcare for each other is we've created a cooperative of families. And so those families help each other out. I offer childcare for free in exchange for whenever I need childcare. And so there are local solutions that can happen that are informal and that policy should support. But again, we can't wait until the moment that policy finally says, okay, we value childcare, we value families, we value the parent-child relationship in the first 4 years, in the first year even. And so we have to create those solutions now.
A really important part of me being able to do work when my kids were smaller was being part of a cooperative like that was just really informal, and women just swapping childcare in the neighborhood. And I mean, that's really the only reason I was able to write part of my first book. Christine, how do you see, what kind of changes do you want to see?
So I completely agree with MJ and Leslie. I think that all of these different solutions need to work in tandem. So we need employers to recognize exactly what working parents are bringing to their organizations. They need to start tracking and measuring them as a specific metric from a HR perspective. We do need moms to serve as their own allies in the workplace and outside of the workplace. The collaboratives that Leslie was mentioning, were mentioning, is that's a great solution as well. I just want it, but also I really think what should be paramount is, we're in election year, and um, MJ is absolutely right that legislation to me is what's paramount. I can't even believe, based off of her bio, that she even has the strength to run and parent right now, but somehow she's doing it. She's superwoman. But, mothers face scrutiny when they run for office, which is why, my heart goes out to her. And actually, research shows that when moms are in Congress, they introduce 5 more bills over their tenure than their peers. So we absolutely need more mothers running. We need more mothers talking about the importance of community and collaboration in and out of the workplace. We need more of them running for office because they're prioritizing the legislation that matters most to us.